Hello, good morning, Shabbat Shalom. Shalom, good morning, Fernando. Good morning, Andre. Good afternoon.
Shabbat Shalom. Hello, Eti. Hello, Andrea.
Shabbat Shalom. How do you do, Fernando?
I'm great, Eti. I'm fine, thank you. I couldn't reclaim yet my pen,
It's
so
okay.
I'm gonna have it on Monday or
It's,
tomorrow.
it's okay. Today I thought that we just could speak without a whiteboard. In this manner, we could go even more deeper because we are
Yes.
not so much focusing on the whiteboard, on letters or so.
And how are you doing? How are you doing, Andre? Fine.
1 second. Andre, can you hear? I'm not sure. I hope that Andre can hear Fernando. At the moment, I'm not sure. So let's start. Fernando, what is on your mind? What question, what topic interests you at the moment?
Eti, if I
Mm-hmm.
may ask you a question that is on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
We talked this morning a little bit about the word. And
Yes.
if you could say how is written in Hebrew the word resurrection.
Resurrection. If you mean tria, techia, it is written with 4 letters. Tav 400, Chet 8, Yod 10, and Hey, which is 5. Techia. If this is what you mean, if this is the term that you are aiming at.
Once I don't know, I really don't know. That's why I am asking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking that the word kon, I think kuf, vav nun, means also resurrection. Is that right or not?
Kuf Vav Nun.
Yes.
Kuf Vav Nun. I'm not sure. Maybe Tkuma, you mean to establish, to wake up? Tkuma, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, I
Tkuma.
heard it once, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why. But I'm
Kun,
really not sure.
Kuf Vav. There's another question here. I see people are entering. 1 second. More
Yes,
people are
we
in
have
this.
here Felipe. Good morning, Felipe and Charles.
Good morning. Good morning. Shabbat Shalom, Felipe. Shabbat Shalom, Charles.
Shabbat Shalom. Good to hear you, everybody. Shalom.
Shalom, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Charles. Can you hear us? Your microphone is open, Charles, but I think it dropped for a moment. Yes. So, Fernando, the word that you were asking for is what? Resurrection in Hebrew?
Yes, and if we could relate some word of resurrection with the word, the importance of resurrecting the speech,
Mhm.
the lashon
Mhm. So, how,
kadosh.
yes, Shona Kodesh, how to. This is interesting because one of the sages, saying that what does it mean to be in exile? Because there is a verse that describes that Israel were enslaved so hard in Egypt. They were enslaved in avodat parich. What is avodat parich? Pei resh chaf sufit. The sages are saying that the mouse Pe rach. The mouse becomes soft. What does it mean that the mouse, human mouse, becomes soft? Like a mouse of a baby. A mouse of a baby is soft. Babies cannot speak. Only when around 1 year before or after they can speak. So what does it mean to be in exile? What does it mean to have like heavy labor? What is the reflection of people in slavery, not just physically but mentally, that they cannot speak? They are like babies. Pe, rach, avodat parech, hard work. They divide the word parech, pe, resh, chaf sofit, into two parts. Pe, mouse, rach, that adult person cannot speak. He has like soft mouth like a baby. He is not a sovereign. This is the meaning of slavery. This is a direction of maybe the conversation that Fernando is looking for. Another perspective is what is galut, exile. Again, what does it mean again? That the mouse is silent. The mouse does not speak. The heavenly kingdom that's supposed to unite everything does not speak. And what is the liberation? What is the opposite situation of exile? Galut. The opposite of galut, exile, is geula. What is the salvation? The salvation is Pesach. Again, Pesach, Passover in English. Pesach, the sages are dividing into two words. Pe, the letter Pe, but it also means a mouse. Sach. Sach is speaking. So what is the meaning of Geula? Salvation is the ability to speak. Again, what is Geula? What is a salvation? The ability to speak. The ability to have recognition. If we don't have recognition, we cannot speak. Babies do not have recognition. Another aspect, Geula, salvation. The value of the word Geula is 45, like Adam. So Adam again is the one who is capable of speaking. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Jonathan. Your microphones are open. Jill and Jonathan, microphones are open. Good morning. So Fernando and Felipe.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, nice to meet you, Jill.
Thank you. Thank you. So did you manage to listen to those concepts of exile, galut and geula? What does it mean to be in exile? What is the mental situation of being in exile, and what is the mental situation of being in salvation mode? Does it make any sense?
Yes, the salvation is the ability to speak. And you mentioned, Teti, that the Pesach, that is opposite to Galut. Galut is exile, right?
Yes.
And Pesach is the Passover, is our salvation, maybe.
Yes.
And I was trying just to take notes here that the Pesach, we can divide the word into the letter Pei, that is mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And what does it mean, the what left in the word, that is Sach, Samech and
Sach,
Het?
samech and chet, it means to speak. Sach, it means to speak. It sounds like siach. Siach is a conversation. Sach, samech chet. Samech chet is also 68. the value of the word chaim, life. In Hebrew, we say, what are you saying in English? In Hebrew, we say, ma, what, ata, you, masculine, sach. What are you saying? Ma, ata, ma, what, ata, second person masculine, sach, speaking. What are you saying? So, what is Pesach? Pe, mouse, which has the ability to speak. Again, the value of Sach, Samechet, 68, is Chaim, life. So the one who speaks is the one who can grant or stream life. This is the salvation, Pesach. Pesach, speaking mouth.
Amazing,
Because,
Iti.
yes, the mouth
Thank you so much.
speaking renews the covenant. Again, the mouse which is speaking is renewing the covenant because we do not have able to speak without the tongue. We cannot speak without the tongue. Lashon, Lashon is tongue. Lashon Kodesh. What is Kodesh? Something that unites everything. What is the holy tongue? Is a speech. Okay, we can say it's Hebrew, but this is a reference or a symbolism of a unified speech. When person speaks, and in the way that he speaks, he can unify everything, bring back the multiplicity into the root, into the source. So, do we understand those terms? Pesach,
Amazing. Amazing.
very good. Very good. And what is salvation? In Hebrew, Geula. Geula has the value of 45, like Adam. So, what is salvation? It is the ability to speak and to connect the human spirit. This is basically what it is. Now, questions? Felipe, Jill, Jonathan, Charles, Fernando.
It's interesting that once I read in the book of Zohar that what is the opposite of to being a slave? To be a king, right? To be a king, to be a melech.
Mm-hmm.
And melech is also very similar to angel, that is a messenger.
Yeah.
And when a king speaks, he has a unified speech because what he asks happens,
Mm-hmm.
because what he demands, happened to have, it has to be realized for the in the material.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could say, what does it mean to be a king or a sovereign in this manner? Because it seems that every one of us must be a sovereign in our heavenly kingdom, inner heavenly kingdom, let's say. So if you could say something about this, I'll be very grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Melech, Mem, Lamed, Chaf has the value of 90. 90, when we divide it into two, we have 45, like the two hands of the letter Aleph. So what does it mean to be a king? The upper yod is the way we think, and the lower yod, arm of the Aleph, is the way we act. So if we act as the way we think or speak, we are sovereign. Do you notice? Can you imagine the drawing of the letter Aleph in your mind?
Yes.
So the king, let's say, when we look at things, the king's speech is already the doing, because he says and things are, so to speak, being done. Yes, there is a unity. Yes. So for us too, that our thoughts or our speech becomes our actions. This is the meaning of being a king or a
Yeah,
sovereign.
it's interesting the word king.
Mm-hmm.
Mem, lamed, kaf.
Yes.
We could think about kol, kaf, lamed, plus mem, which meaning everything on time, or everything in the realm of the time.
Yes. Very good, Felipe.
Interesting.
Call, all, everything is manifested in the time, in its time. To everything there is a season. Yes, there is a time for everything.
It is like a true and a consistent manifestation when time has it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking about when, you know, uh, when things are really completed and not manifestation, uh, as a bad thing, but when true manifestation happens.
It's an attribute of the king, turn everything into concretion.
Again, Jonathan, the speech is cut. Can you repeat slowly?
Okay, it's an attribute of a king to turn everything into concretion, to manifest everything, to turn speech into actions, to concrete actions. And for this, it must have it occurs in time.
Mm-hmm.
This goal must happen in time. If you don't have time to do things, it's not possible. It will only be in the realm of imagination or
Mm-hmm.
abstract thinking, not in concretion. You need the time to do this, to turn this into concretion.
Thank you.
Also, just now I was thinking, if I'm not wrong, please, if I'm wrong, correct me, but I think call is 50
Mm-hmm.
and mem is 40. So both together we get 90, which is mime and time as well.
Mm-hmm.
And call everything, it's in the realm of the beyond time and space. It is in the realm of Binah, I guess, or when everything's the Jubilee, when the eighth day, and so on. In this manner, we see that Melech, the meaning corroborates, because it is like the infinite in a way being manifested in time. 50
Mm-hmm.
being manifested in the 40.
Very good.
May
Very,
I? Just one.
yes.
It's interesting what Felipe said because I was thinking something very similar. Because we can get one letter for a word. For Lamed, we can get the lev, right? The
Mm-hmm.
heart. The half, we can get kavod, that is the liver.
Mm-hmm.
And from Mem, we can try to take the meler hoshev, from thinking, I was trying to connect the three parts of the body, you know, the
Yes.
thinking, the heart, and the doing.
Yeah.
When
Excellent.
we have a unity between the three realms, we are a king.
Yeah. The mem is for moach. Moach is the mind, the thinking sphere. The lamed is lev, the heart, the spirit, the emotions. And kaf for kaved, the kavod or kaved. Kaved is the liver. This is in the doing. So when there's a unity, or there's a stream from the mind to the heart to the doing, there's like the manifestation of the 90, like you say, the connection between 50 and 40, the 45 and the thought, and um, the reflection in the action. So it's beautiful because all of those perspectives, they're working together. They don't contradict each other. Excellent. Good morning, Kevin.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How do you do?
I'm doing well. I'm just pouring some cup of coffee. Got a late start this morning.
Good.
It's good to hear you all.
Thank you.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Questions or thoughts? Charles, good morning. I hope you can hear us. Your microphone is open.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. How do you do?
I'm okay by the grace of God.
Good, good to hear. How's the weather today in England?
Sunny and cloudy.
Cold or just cloudy?
Cloudy and sunny. It's a bit hot.
It's a bit hot.
Mm.
It's here also hot, but not cloudy. It's very hot. Yes. Thank you. Questions? What is the relation between Egypt, Mitzrayim in Hebrew, and Tzoa, form? What is the relation between those two words according to what we heard from Heinrich? Mitzrayim, Egypt, Tsar, narrow, and Tzoa. Tzoa is a form.
How
What is the
is
relation?
spelled it?
Again,
This last word, how it with which letters?
form Tzoa, Tzadi, 90, Vav, 6, Resh, 200, Hey, 5. Tzoa. Tzoa. Weinreb connects between those two words, Mitzrayim, Egypt, like narrow waters, Tsar Maim, Mitzrayim, and Tzora, form. And what does it mean to be in exile? But not historical, like people tend to think that once they used to be exile. What is the exile of a form? How can we be in exile in a form? What is a form?
It's the concretion, the institution, it's everything that loses the spirit. I think that it's too concrete, like
It's
what we have in our institutions, in our government and things like that.
Yes. Can it be also habits?
Yes, of course. Yes. Everything that is too much rigid.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a mold in Aristotelian terms. A mold
Again,
for forming everything, something.
Jonathan, the way cut.
I think I have some trouble with silence.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you listen to me?
Yes, try to.
I think there's some wind here from where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was saying is that form can be understood as a mold, Aristotelian terms. A mold for forming something, for turning something into concretion. A form of a man, a mold of a man, of an animal, of something. A
Yes,
rigid mold.
yes, yes. Thank you.
A procedure, something like this. A procedure.
Yes, yes. Very good. This is what God told Moses in the burning bush conversation. I shall be that I shall be, meaning I'm formless.
No boundaries.
Yes. We always try to protect ourselves by taking a refuge behind form, behind a definition, behind titles. Yes. Questions? Jill, Felipe, Charles, Kevin.
Would our body be considered a form? Like,
Again, Jill, you ask about the body. If the body is a form?
yes, would it be considered a form
Yes, the
or
body is a
shape?
form. Yes, the body is a form. Yes. Hmm. The body is a great manifestation of an exile. If we think that our body is who we are, this is exile.
May I make some question? If we think the body as an exile, galut, could we think of the same body as a geulah,
The
a
spirit,
salvation?
yes, because when the spirit appears, so they come together. You are saying something very interesting. From the exile, from the body, from the galut comes the geulah. Yes, the spirit of human that speaks. Yes.
You add an aleph, is
Yes.
it? Is that
Yes. The difference between galut and geulah, how do you say, exile and salvation, is the aleph, is the unity. Yes.
I think it is over. There's a comment about Adam. Adam before the fall,
Mm.
his body extended through all Gan Eden. So he had not the limits.
Yes. Yes. That's correct. That's correct. There is another. Thank you, Jonathan. There is a comment here on YouTube by Joseph Weissman. Water can take on the form of the container. What about water? Yes, yes. Water can always take the form of the container they are in which. Yes, yes, yes. This is the very good, Joseph, because this is the relation of Mitzrayim, Tsar Maim, the water. Whenever we put the water in square aquarium, they will look square. It depends on the vessels that they are. So the water are in a way a reflection of a form. Very interesting. Thank you, Joseph.
That's very interesting. It makes me think about the words cell
Mm-hmm.
and cell.
Yes.
I guess one is shadow and another is form or image.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
That is right. Cell.
this?
Yes. Yes.
No, if I'm not wrong, I don't have sure, but I'm not sure. But I thinking that cell is shadow. So when this very shadow is in, I was thinking about adding mime, the
Mm-hmm.
letter mem,
Yes.
with cell with shadow. So like a, a form of a shadow, like I don't know. It's just some. It it was what came into my mind right now about this water shaping, being the shape of things,
Mm-hmm.
like in the shape of a shadow. In spirit, it's like a shadow in the human body. When spirit descend in the body, I think spirit is in galut, is in exile. I
Yeah.
think there is some interesting relations in this manner.
Yes. The cell, the shadows, the shadow cell is in the tselem, is in the image. So the shadow in water, mem, cell in mem, mime, water. The shadow in water gives us the image of God. This is what you meant?
Yes, yes,
In other words, it is impossible to have a shadow outside of time. Is that right?
yes. Cell, Tzadi, Lamed. Is it 120?
102.
Cell.
Yes, yes.
It is lacking the one like the number 12. It's like time, seasons, and
Yes,
if it lacks the one, it you never arrives in the 13.
yes. We can also look at cell shadow as value of 120. When we divide the 120 cell into the value of mem, which is 40, we what we get is 3.
The spirit, right?
Yes. This is why every Simchat Torah there is a tradition. Around Simchat Torah, people used to at night to stand at midnight and to see if they have a shadow. If they have a shadow under the moon, they will live another year. Because the shadow is the shadow is a manifestation of the spirit. Yes, yes. Kevin?
Last night I was talking to my wife about the shadow, and it occurred to me as we were hanging out about the shadow box, and how the shadow box is like what the people will put on the walls and put little ornaments or things. My mom did it when I was growing up. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it.
What can you please share with us? What is that, please?
A shadow box. It's it looks like a wooden tray with a bunch of little boxes in the tray. And anyways, the way this came from is the printing press. The printing press above the press machine would store their letters.
Yes.
Their shadows in the boxes, and the letters are like little statues, and they're like little shadows. And in Egypt, they refer to statues as shadows. In ancient Egypt. And it's just interesting y'all are talking about shadows, because I was just talking to her last night before we went to bed about it.
So what is the...
Just kind of wanted to share it.
Thank you. So what is the box of shadows that people used to keep? What is this?
Yeah, so
stream?
They would take when the printing presses were starting to go away, they would have all these extra shadow boxes, typeset boxes, and then they would sell them, and then people would put them on their walls and then put like little statues and little figurines in the little teeny holes as to try to decorate their homes. And they call it shadow boxes because it's also, most people would use them for memories. And anytime they went somewhere or did something, it would be a little memory or a shadow of that moment, and they would put it in the little square on the wall. But its origin comes from the printing press, where the little letters would be in the little boxes. Every box had a little letter, and it's a little statue that's in the shape of a letter. It's a form, kind of goes along with what y'all are talking about, but I wanted to add it.
Thank you so much.
Because the water, we're talking about water, and we talk about the writing, and the printing press came from the Bible. And it helped to bring the Bible all over the world. These little statues, these little shadows that were all put together, and to help send the water to the rest of the world.
That's correct. That's correct. The shadow. Yes, please, Felipe, please.
No, please continue. I can ask.
Please ask. I will wait.
No, just to. I'm not with the Torah here in my. I'm not with my PC, so I was thinking when Bible speaks about idols, what is the word for idols that shouldn't be adored as God?
Elil, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, Lamed. 1:30 10, 30.
71.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I just, thank you, Felipe. I just wanted to relate to the letters as shadows. This is what you were saying, Kevin, that the
Yes.
letters are like shadows, and those letters used to be put, or on them, people used to put a layer of ink, yes? And
Yes.
then the foil, the page, and then the relation between the letter, the ink, and the paper creates a printed letter. Now,
Yes.
the ink in Hebrew, ink is yod. I mean, opposite. Ink in Hebrew is dio, daled, yod, vav. But those letters, daled, yod, vav, if you write them in different orders, in different order, we get the word yod. Yod is the 10th letter. So the ink is basically the potential of everything. The yod, because the yod is 10, is the potential of everything. So when the potential touch the letter, which is the shadow, we have a printed letter, which is a mark of communication. When the potential meet the shadow, the letter, we have a communication.
Amen.
The letters are also considered to be a soldier in the army of the divine presence. We have met the name Hashem Tzvaot. Do you remember in the Bible when Hannah is praying Hashem Tzvaot? In the name Tzvaot, have you heard the name Tzvaot?
Yes, yes.
Tzvaot.
We
So
have that. Kadosh, 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 right? Adonai
yes,
Tsevaot.
very good. So what is Tzevaot? You can divide it, Fernando. Tzava, Tzava, Tzadi Bet Aleph. Tzava is army. And Ot. Ot is a letter. So each letter is an army in his, or a soldier in his divine presence. What is Tzevaot? Why do we name God as Tzevaot? Because every letter, Ot, every figurine, every letter is a sign or a soldier in his tzava. Tzava is army.
And also, if I remember well, the Tree of Life has the paths between the spheres are 22, right?
Mm-hmm.
And are related with the letters that, so the letters, the speech, the communication is what connects all the Tree of Life, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Beautiful.
yes. Also, the value of Tzevaot, Fernando, the value of Tzevaot, Tzadi is 90, Bet is 292, 93 with the Aleph, 499, Fernando.
Exactly. Yes, 499.
So Tzevaot is 499 plus the 1, so we have 500. 500 is the full hand perspective of the or the temple, or the course of the tree of life is 500 years. So Tzevaot, armies, all the letters which are coming to us, plus the source, This is the full hand perspective. Like the value of pro ovo, be fruitful and multiply in Genesis 1. The term be fruitful and multiply in Genesis 1 is the value of 500. The course of the tree of life. Tsevaot as well. Tsevaot 499 plus 1 is be fruitful and multiply.
And Sar as well.
Again, Felipe.
The word Sar.
Sar.
Shin Resh, I think he's
Shin
talking.
Sar, minister. Sar, yes, Sar, yes, yeah, sure. Sar, minister.
Eti,
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes.
I was looking at the gematria here,
Mhm.
and Tsevaot also is always followed. It always came first, the name of the Lord, that is 26. It's Adonai Tsevaot, usually, right? And if we make the sum of Adonai Tsevaot, we get 525. But if we add this one that you said, this idea beyond, we have 526.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 times 26 is Sinai.
Excellent.
And it was where Moses received all the Torah, received the army of letters, received the printed letters, let's say.
Yes, yes, excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is also the value of the word leather, sulam. The sulam, the letter of Jacob. This is the leather made out of letters. Also 130, 5 times 26 as well. Thank you so much. We have a friend here on YouTube. A moving molten image would be that television/movie less, as a molten means moving. Thank you. Questions? Where do you learn the value? Oh, learn the value. There is a video of there is a conversation on YouTube that we made a while ago about the Hebrew letters and their values, called Gematria Table. Almost 1 hour conversation about the values of letters. So in the shadow box there are letters. The letters are dark, but they are the mean of communication between us and the source. Is that so?
Yes.
Also, the letters that the Torah, the letters were given in the darkest point. In the darkest point, 7 weeks after the Exodus, 7 weeks, 49 days plus 1. This is was very dark, the darkest moment. In the most darkest moment, we have a communication.
It's where we have a better vessel, maybe.
Yes. Because also 777 is 49, and sometimes we add a 0. This is 490. the value of Bethlehem. In the darkest point, there is a connection. Specifically because the vessel is so dark, the highest or the purest light can go to the darkest places. There is an opposite relation between light and a vessel. The most pure light will find its way to the most dark vessel, or the most not just dark but thickened vessel. In a way, the divinity is interested in the most, it is opposite in what we think, but the divinity always dwells in the most lower parts.
So, Eti,
Mhm.
could you give us a practical opinion about how to be in relationship with this light? Because I think that sometimes some religious maybe had this insight, but gets only the dark side of this insight. So people, you know, make bad things to the body and suffer a lot trying to grasp the divine light. And I think that, in my mind, would not be the correct approach to something like this. So I would like to hear from you. What do you think to make this vessel, this possible to receive the light? And if I could add one more question in this question, is that maybe, I'm not sure, we have different paths. So when a person uses its own will to search the light, maybe he already make the vessel. He does not need to suffer so much as somebody that are not looking for the spirituality. That's it. I don't know. Just putting the ideas on the table, wishing you to say what you think about.
I think that we're already here and we are conversing and exchanging on Slack, and there's listening a bit between us. I mean, whether it comes through books or impressions between friends here. So the listening is a great thing, like paying attention to what friends are saying and relating. This is it. It is not like Jesuit, how do you call it, Jesuits, like people are beating them back, and so it's not it at all. It's just a question that you asked 2 days ago about what is the difference between the patriarch and Moses. Why to the patriarch God was seen, and to Moses he was speaking, and this conversation and your back and forth on Slack brought this remembrance of a serious man. When the narrator goes to the bar mitzvah and he needs to, his weekly portion is to read the verse Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe. The God speaks to Moses in Numbers 1:1. So it's more like impressions that communication is something very soft. So it's like impressions, songs, music, paintings, ideas, like Kevin was saying about the box of letters, all kinds of things that crosses our daily life. It's not something special. Just to appreciate what there is, because everything was created for us, the whole universe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Joseph Weissman is saying dark matter has no light within itself. Only the light can light up dark matter. Yes, there is a beautiful article, long article in the book of Zohar, Kav Hamidah, the measuring line, how at the end of every dark place there is a ray of light that illuminates it. A beautiful long article. Once Fernando was commenting in one of the sessions, he found that the word afel, dark, if you write those three letters in a different order, we get the letter Aleph. Afel, Aleph. Aleph is unity, so behind every darkness, there's the one. There's a source. Questions so far?
Also, just to add, once in a session we were speaking about the word ha, bad, 270,
Mm-hmm.
and without zero is like or
Yes.
207.
Mm-hmm.
So it is in another order. You have light. You know what is bad brings the light, and also it makes me think about the Psalm 23
Mm-hmm.
that has these two words together, ha and Roe, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
pronouncing
Yes.
correctly. It is the same letters, Resh, Ein, and one is like a shepherd. It's correct, it?
Yes, yes, there is, yes. Bad, Ra, two letters, Resh Ain, 270 is bad. And with another additional Hey, Roe, Resh Ain, Hey, 275 is a shepherd. So how do we move from bad into shepherd? We add the full hand perspective, the letter Hey. Is that so?
Yes, yes.
Excellent, excellent,
Yeah, it's
excellent.
beautiful.
Thank you. Joseph is writing, you're bringing light into a dark place. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, Joseph.
Questions or impressions? Since Felipe mentioned the word roe, shepherd, I would like to show the relation between shepherd and herd, like many sheep that he brings into the pasture. The word, 1 second, we have another messages here. That there is as well. Roe, shepherd, has the value of 275, 275. Eder, a herd, the many sheep or many goats that are coming together. Eder has the value of 274. So what is the difference between shepherd and his herd? The one. And sometimes, and this conversation is not just an external shepherd and his sheep or goats that he takes them to the meadows. It's about ourselves. If we are managing to collect, to put together, to lead, to bring into unity all the many different aspects of us, our thoughts, our dreams, our feelings, if we manage to bring them together, we are the shepherd. But if uh, one thought is taking us this direction, like a lost sheep, and another feeling draw us to another argument in the past 5 years ago, and another impression takes us to another, we are being like strangled by the many. So those terms, shepherd, roe, and eder, herd, herd and shepherd are not external terms only. They're also reflecting notions in ourselves. When we manage to put everything together, we're the sovereign or the shepherd. We're collecting all those different elements in us together. And when those elements are taking over, there's only herd without a head, without a shepherd. There's a message here on YouTube. 1 second. Troubadour says, "This is wonderful. We are American and we are so happy you're doing this. We're teaching our nine-year-old daughter Hebrew. Is there a recommended book or manual? Thank you and many blessings." Thank you so much. Yes, there are many books. There are many books, but you can find many, many books for the letters. But it's very important also to listen to those conversations. Thank you.
I
Mhm.
really appreciate what you said and what Felipe said about the bed and the shepherd,
Mhm.
and light is or, and also it's equal, the same numbers as bed, let's say, because we talked before that the dark and the aleph, we can, from the dark we can find the aleph,
Mhm.
from the bed we can find or, if we look at the numbers, right? And what you said about this perspective of Erd and Rach, the shepherd, it's amazing as well. And it's very on our face that every bad thing that happened to us is an opportunity to move on, right?
Yes. Yeah. As
I think
Weiner,
this is the message.
yes, Weiner was saying that what is bad. You remember you were mentioning this a few days ago. What is bad? Ra is 270 or 277, meaning there is a separation of the seven. This is bad. Two times seven, and or good, tov, is 17, is 1 and 7. You remember this?
Yes.
So good is 1 7, and bad, like there's a difference. So what is bad is just a distance. If we feel very far, we call it bad from the source. If we feel far from the source, we call it bad. Bad is what separates us, and if we're calling something bad, it means we're already far. We are two distances, because one distance is good, we feel good. Two distances, we're too far. There's a split. Make sense?
Yes. Is the essence of number two, to be separated, to be in
Yes.
opposition. Yeah.
Yes. Very good. Very good. This is the essence of the number two. Very good.
This is why in the second day it lacks the word kitov. It wasn't. We do not have the expression. It was good, right?
Yes, yes, yes. There's also no sovereign in the second day because there's just splits, but there's no spirit. This is what Weinreb says. There is no individual, only in the third day there is. This is why he always warns people not to be in masses. It's like to be in the second day, without the dry land, without the sovereign, without the individual, without
Amazing.
spirit, without the spirit. He warns this a lot from this.
I was thinking about just just trying to relate another aspect of the shepherd
Mhm.
in the Psalm 23. We hear, "Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." So I was thinking about this rod as the vav, as like something we like Moses' rod.
Mhm.
I don't know the exact word in English for the what Moses brought bring in his hand, but it's like the letter Vav, the unity, um like something that bring things together, like the spirit. And also, I'm very fond of this number 6 and this letter Vav. Just thinking about that, in as Fernando said, in second day there is not there isn't the word kitov, and it was good, but in the sixth day there is kitov meod, if I'm not wrong. It was very good. So it's like two times three, two times the spirit, like this binary, this two
Mhm.
had become something good, very good, because it is spirited.
That's true.
It's
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jill?
Yes, I don't really have any questions. I'm just learning so much from you all and filling up pages of journals.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate being here though so much.
Thank you. Fernando, Felipe, Charles, questions? Or questions from YouTube?
I have one question.
Yes.
Um, we are circulating about this topic of good and bad, of what is salvation and what is slavery, let's say, the form and the formless, and what is a king and what is a slave and everything. So I'm just wondering, because you said about Mitzrayim,
Mm-hmm.
and if you could say something about what is the symbol ideas behind Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
Could you say something about what does it mean in biblical terms?
Mm-hmm. Yerushalayim is from Yir'ah. Yir'ah is Lir'ot. It's like few takes on it, I would say, perspectives, is to see the complete. Yir'eh Shalem, Yir'u, they will see the complete in everything, in every spark. What is the symbol of the word Jerusalem? To see in every spark its completion. Yir'u shalem. They will see the complete picture, even from little spark. Yir'u shalem. Or to establish the completeness, which is the same. To see the completeness. Yir'u shalem. Yes, to see the
Shalem.
completeness.
Shalem, we can take the word peace as well, like
Yes,
Salem, right?
yes, shalom and shalem. Yes, to see the peace, the balance in everything, the complete perspective in everything, not to see just shattered. So why Jerusalem in the laws is the center of the world? Because the peace and completeness is the center. If we don't see the completeness or we don't feel peace, we are far from the center of ourselves.
Thank
That
you so much.
you're
Yes, I was
welcome.
looking for this, really. Thank you.
Welcome. Questions? We have a new friend here. I see. 1 second. There's another friend. So, Shelton. Hello. Good morning, Shelton.
Good morning, everyone. Shalom.
Hello.
Just catching the tail end of the conversation. Sorry
Good.
to join out.
Shelton, we posted today under movies on Slack the Serious Man. If you have seen it in its time when it was published, or released in 2009. If not, there's a invitation for all of us to see this again. Serious Men. Um, it has beautiful perspectives of the Hebrew as a language, as letters, as a theme. Also, the movie speaks about splits between generation and this miscommunication and the lack of spirit, and how people become so comfortable in the form that they lose track of who they are.
Wow.
And there's a good music in the very good music in the movie. Joel and Ethan Cohen, I think they produced or directed the movie. It's a very, very good one. So it's a weekend, and if you have time to watch it, enjoy it.
I will look in the Slack. And can you repeat the title again?
A Serious Man. A Serious
Thank
Man.
you. Thank you, Ed.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Any questions or thoughts before we seal the conversation?
Just to thank you, Eti. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Thank you so much for writing, for sharing impressions on Slack. I just wanted to add something to Fernando's book yesterday by Gershom Scholem. The book that we posted yesterday is a summary of 20 years that he made lectures in Oranus Cycle in Switzerland from 1948 until 1968. Gershom Scholem was part of Oranus Cycle in Switzerland, and he gave lectures about spirituality in German in Switzerland, and he collected the 20 years of lectures that he had given there into a book. And this book was translated from German to Hebrew and from German to English. So this is the book that I was recommending yesterday, Fernando. It's like 20 years of lectures in Oranus Cycle. And von Franz, the student of Carl Jung, was participating in the cycle as well.
This is amazing, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Thank you so much.
And you're welcome. Another sentence, this cycle also cured him from the disconnection that he experienced. He was born in Europe. He ran he did not run, but he joined the Zionism to come to the Palestine because there was like nationalist flames in Europe, and he was very far from his culture. And since 48, the establishing of the state of Israel and the renewal or establishing of Uranus cycle in Switzerland, and the fact that it was the conversations were held in German, in a way cured his relation or his wound from Europe, if you can cure something like this. So this is what I wanted to share because there was a lot of text to write, so I'd rather do this by heart. Fernando, this is he writes it in the beginning of it.
Thank you. It means a lot to me, and it's beautiful that he found heal in a healing place in a universal context, right? Because it was a
Yes. This is it, Fernando. This is it. Yes. Only in a universal context he could find a healing. This is it. And he was free. Excellent. Thank you so much for coming here. Please check Slack, have impressions, ask questions, and watch the movie because it's beautiful. Thank you all for coming today. We can meet here on Monday. Tomorrow is Sunday, weekend all over the place. Take a day off and we shall meet here on Monday. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, friends. Shabbat Shalom, Shelton, Charles, Jill.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Thank you so
shalom,
much.
everyone. Back to your high place.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you so much.